Welcome back. Another day, another chapter. Did you guys see that special guest who popped in at the end of the video? My daughter. She loves these stories. We're now to chapter 10. I wonder what's going to happen when I get up to higher chapters. I don't have enough fingers. All right, chapter 10, Dinner Conversation. The room Shen brought her to had a simple table with a few chairs, but what was on the table was far from simple. There was freshly baked bread, fruit, vegetables, and what looked like a hearty bowl of soup. Bree's eyes went wide as she stood at the end of the table, staring at the amount of food before her. Some of the fairies wanted to whip up a meal for you, Shen said, standing in front of one chair and gesturing to the other one across the table from him. It isn't fancy, but the fairies bake an amazing bread that is so soft and delicious. Please sit. She was amazed at how hungry she felt, so Bree didn't need to be told twice. She sat quickly and filled her plate with bread and fruit. Shen watched her eat and then took a sip from his cup that a fairy had filled with water. So, are the fairies your servant? Bree asked, trying not to talk as she chewed her food. Odiana made an angry noise and shook a finger at Bree. Shen chuckled. Not at all. I was more than willing to make you some soup as well, but the fairies told me it was not appetizing, so they offered to cook for you. Odiana brought Bree a steaming bowl and placed it in front of her. It was then she realized that it wasn't soup at all, but stew. She grabbed a spoon nearby and took a mouthful and closed her eyes, loving the taste. After a few moments of eating, she looked up. So, what happened here in Goal? Why was I sent away? Shortly before you were born, our kingdom was attacked from pirates from afar. We sent troops in boats to stop them, but no one came back, except one. His name was Regan. He was one of the best warriors in the Royal Golian Legion and served closely with your parents near the royal family. He was ordered not to get involved in the troops being sent to stop the pirates, but he ignored those orders and went anyway, taking a small group of soldiers with him. The group never returned, and after we lost over half our troops, the pirates sailed into our harbor, and leading them was Regan himself. He became a pirate? Bree asked. Shen nodded. He was always a troubled member of the Legion, but we never thought he would turn against Goal. When he returned, he didn't come alone. He had more pirates under his command than there were members of the Royal Legion left, so we knew our days were numbered. On top of that, he came back with a wizard. Bree's eyes widened. A wizard? They call him Zerum. He was dressed in a black cloak, always hooded, and the first thing the wizard did was go after my grandfather. Why him? A few days before the pirates came to shore, my grandfather helped your parents send you away. Zerum knew what my grandfather had done and had him killed. I fled the castle and came here, and I've been hiding out here ever since. Why didn't your father become an elder? Shen got a sad look on his face. My father, Toma, didn't want to follow my grandfather's footsteps to become an elder. So he joined the Golian Legion as a foot soldier. He was one of the troops that was sent with Regan the first time, and he never returned. I'm sorry, Bree said. She had stopped eating and was now staring at Shen. The scroll my father sent me talked about something called ether. Is that what the pirates are after? Shen made a smirk and nodded. They came for the ether for certain, but before they ever attacked, the king received notice that there was a group of pirates attacking seaports and collecting mystic energy from different lands. They had grown strong due to a dark power, and they think that that power was Zerum. As a wizard, he would want the ether at any cost, because it was a great power that gives and controls all life, and gives powers and abilities to the Royal Golian Legion, Bree finished. That's what my father said in the scroll. Shen leaned forward. Other than you arriving, the only good thing in all of this is that neither Regan nor Zerum have been able to access the ether. Bree looked confused. Why not? Only a member of the Royal Golian Legion can find the ether and use it. Now, there is a strong chance that they know where the ether is, but no matter how powerful Zerum may be, he will never be able to get the ether. My grandfather and the Legion, including your parents, made sure of that. But I can, Bree said. That's why I was sent away and brought back, right? Shen nodded. You're the last descendant of the Legion, and the only one who can find and use the ether to save us all. Bree opened her mouth to ask another question, but there was a sudden rumbling in the distance. After a moment, the door burst open and some fairies flew in, very excited. They were squeaking and making noises, and for a moment Bree thought she could actually understand them. Two words were very clear. beast inside. I wonder what happens next. Stay tuned.